Hi, folks. We're at the Cliff Herman cabin at the end of our second week almost. We worked here last week and we've gotten in 2 days this week and we hopefully wrap it up next week. But we've done quite a bit of work. This floor, this cabin's got a crawl space in it that was not well ventilated. There was no vapor barrier in here. The vents that were here were plugged up so they could heat it in the wintertime. And what that did was it caused moisture to build up so much that it actually rotted out the floor joists on this half of the building. And some of them on the other side are compromised a little bit too. And we're going to be, we're doubling up those joists. It's called double sistering. This is what they look like. We've put in another joist right next to them here, and we're nailing that together. And the beam that supported them in the center of the house was actually bad too, so we're replacing that. And unlike the previous builder, we're actually splicing these members together on top of the concrete piers, so they don't, so they hold up better and they're stronger that way. We've taken out almost all of the interior walls except for this bedroom wall, which we're kind of using to support the roof a little bit. It's not exactly a modern style truss roof that we have there, so we have to provide a little support for it, shall we say. The old floor was made up of a 3/4 inch board that was laid down first and it was placed diagonally, and then it was covered with a piece of 5/8 plywood on top of that. And what we're going to do is cut back another few inches over here so that our new subfloor and the floor on top are staggered a little bit, so that the upper layer will run over to this new cut line over here. And other things that we're doing to control the moisture that caused all this problem to begin with is we're putting in a vapor barrier in the whole area, and we're taping the seams together. We're sealing it around the piers and the plumbing and stuff, and keeping the moisture in the soil. And then we're also going to get a fan system with a humidistat on it, so we can ventilate the air by force instead of letting Mother Nature do it. Oh, the mosquitoes in here are getting kind of bad. We're insulating around the outside with 3 inches of foam insulation. 2 is required by code, but I had this left over from another project, so we're using that up. And along the outside of the structure, over on this north side, I call it, is the worst of the whole area. The floor joists were the worst, and the sill here was rotted out completely. You can see from this area here how soft it is. So we're cutting that off, and we're gonna lay a 2x6 over the top of this. This was actually replaced once before, so that's new, but the old sills were not treated, and today's building code requires that we use all treated material here because it's in such an important location. So we're going to put a 2x6 down here, and then we're going to overlay this rim joist. After we cut off the nails, we're going to overlay it with a treated rim joist like we've done over here. And then we're going to fasten all of our new members, our new floor joists into them. Over on this end of the house, it's pretty good. I mean, our sill and our rim joist are both really good shape. So we don't have to do anything with them. These floor joists over here, these will be double sistered as we have all the rest of them on that side. And we'll do that as soon as we get that beam in there tomorrow. And that pretty much completes our scope of work for phase one of the project, as we call it. The phase two will happen this winter when we get caught up on our work and we'll be working inside. Another interesting thing I wanted to point out is this is the only insulation that's in the cabin. It happens to be in this bathroom wall because they remodeled it at some point in time. Otherwise, all the rest of the stud cavities are completely empty. There's no insulation in them whatsoever. And when we come back this winter, we're going to be addressing that. All this paneling is going to be gone, and we're going to be putting in new insulation and vapor barrier. Probably getting a lot of wiring redone. There's a lot of electric heaters that were used in here because there actually wasn't a year-round full-time heating system. But in order to use it for deer hunting and things like that, they did add these auxiliary electric heaters. So anyway, we'll be finishing up our subfloor and our framing tomorrow. We're going to make a scuttle over here, probably right in this area where the old fireplace was, so that we can get an overweight plumber in here if we have to, and make it more work in this lower area a lot more accessible. We'll see you then.